July 2023 video horoscopes for the 12 signs with me, Lada, from Astrolada.com. I'm so excited. July, we have some of the most karmic configuration in the sky. Pluto, which is considered the planet that governs the evolution of the soul and the evolutionary path, and the most karmic and fatal and fated events will square the karmic nodes, which are considered the north node is the true north of the soul, the new karma soul has to create. The south node is the past karma soul has to create. So some very pivotal fated karmic events will happen, like the universe is no longer waiting for you to make up your mind. It's giving you consequences of your actions and is realigning you to the path that is most appropriate for your soul, whether you're ready or no. So some events that I'll say for each sign what these events will be will trigger a specific big consciousness shift and realigning of your karmic direction and the karmic path in life for your soul during the next month, July and into August. And we'll speak what events this can be for each one of you. But something pivotal, very important, is happening, guys. And Venus is turning retrograde, but helping this process with a trine. So I'm very excited for this month. And before I start, Nikola Stojanovic, my past teacher, the late Nikola Stojanovic, his books are still not out. His daughter is trying to publish them. He's the most genius astrologist who ever lived. But we're releasing all his courses, 9 courses, for a discounted price, or you can choose just 3 of his courses in a package and get them. This is part of my Lada's Top Picks that continues the whole till October 2023, where I recommend you the best astrology courses and the themes, and Nikola Stojanovic is for everything. I mean, if you want to do astrology like a magician, like a psychic almost, check out those courses. I cannot recommend them enough. And of course I do Q&A live once per month for each group till October. If you have questions for every new package of course I recommend. So thank you. Let's begin July. Hello Aries, this is your July 2023 video horoscope for anyone who has their sun, moon or ascendant in Aries. It's a big month because the north nodes is moving into your sign and it will stay there for the next 18 months. The last time the north node was in your sign was about 18 years ago. 2003, 2004 approximately. That's very rare. And the nodes are meant to really, when a node, it's called the karmic node for a reason, because some of the most important karmic events start happening when the nodes are in your sign. And this time will be the north node, which is considered one of giving you something material, increasing your lustful life. You can become very desirous or very kind of hungry, ambitious, motivated over the next 18 months. I don't know, for some of you might happen immediately now from July, from around the middle of July, the nodes shift signs. But when you have for the next 18 months, year and a half, the nodes in your sign, it means that the eclipses are happening on the axis of Aries. And that's one of the biggest changes in life happen. Eclipses coincide with marriages, divorces, births, deaths. I mean, changes of career. We're talking the biggest life changes. So exciting times for you, Aries. The next 1.5 years, you will have a lot of surprises and eclipses. And not immediately from July, I'm not saying that, but definitely for over the next 18 months, the nodes will shake you up. And the north node in particular, when it's in Aries, it gives this insatiable desire for success, this insatiable desire for more. The north node is symbolized by the head of the dragon, and the head of the dragon is cut from the rest of the body, so you can never feel satiated. So the north node wants always the most prestigious, the best, the highest. And it's known that when the north node activates us, we can be thrown into positions that are way above our social standing or our skills. So we call it something like frog leaps, or like a trampoline effect, where you're not ready yet for the top, but you're not taking the roundabout way, the lawful way, which is more Saturnian, to get to the top. This time you're getting on a elevator to the top, or like snakes and ladders. You're getting on a ladder to the top, even before you're ready for it, for some of you. So even the exciting things, because when the North Node passes your sign, it tends to give you something. So it can give you position, status, money. It's usually something material that humans usually desire a lot. Or sexual as well. The North Node symbolizes all those material things that we think will make us happy, but actually when we get them, we want more, and it's never enough. But Rahu will give you now. So it's almost like, be careful what you wish for over the next 18 months, Aries, because you might just get it. And it's like when the universe tells you, okay, you receive your desires, but we cannot tell you what the consequences will be. You will have to see them for yourself. So as I said, there might be sudden promotions, expansion. You can finally feel more motivated or driven, or you can feel more hungry for life, lust for life, for achievements, and all of those different things. Sorry, I'm sitting in a bit uncomfortable position here. And so but again, it's a gainful. The North Node is gainful. Yes, it shakes you up. Yes, when there is an eclipse on your sun or moon or ascendant over the next year and a half, some big things can happen, like birth of a child, the end of a family, beginning of a family, end of one chapter, beginning of another. But it's exciting and you gain something. And it's very much, this North Node in Aries wants to teach you on the psychological levels independence, because that's what the first house is. How to be, say if it's your ascendant that is in Aries, that the North Node is transiting, it will want to teach you how to, because the South Node will be transiting your 7th house, and South Node is a point of karma where you release the finished karma, while the North Node is a point of creating new karma for the future. That's why there is this hunger there, doing something new. The North Node is new energy, like spring. So there'll be a lot of new things in your life that are coming, that you're doing, that you're excited about. While the old things tend to come to you through the others. So it might mean that the South Node in the 7th house can indicate that you have to do with some past relationships, something connected from maybe sometimes someone can return from the past, that there is unfinished story there. Again, it's not immediately from July that this will happen, but it's a prediction almost for the next 18 months. There might be some unfinished contracts that you have to deal with. And the South Node usually indicates something from the past coming back, and it's coming to you from relationship, from contracts, from agreements, the 7th house. But it's coming so it can be completed. It's coming so you can put like so you can finish that. So for example, there was no closure in a relationship. The South Node in the 7th house can make you think more about the past or relationship, can make you even meet this person again, and you see them and you're like, that's who I've been grieving. Oh my God. And you're free from it, because the ultimate energy of the South Node is moksha, liberation, to liberate you from the ties you have to this person, to this contract, to this agreement, 7th house rules of all of those things, to this negotiation, to this trade. So there might be the ending or dissolution of contracts, agreement, relationships, marriages, or any kind of agreements you've done with someone, or partnership, business or personal, that have finished their karmic importance for you and their karmic validity. While at the same time, the South Node removes barriers towards relationships. It's not going to create problems in your relationships. The South Node only shows when something has fizzled out. So whatever is removed from your life, like a contract, promise, partnership, right now over the next year and a half, it's because it has no longer any growth for you. It has no longer any, the karmic contract is finished, so to speak. So there is, of course, this can indicate certain shakeups in a relationships, but usually it does not mean that you cannot create relationships. It does not mean that you cannot have new contract agreements, collaborations. That the South Node does not ban those things. It just removes the ones that are no longer necessary, and the North Node as well makes you be a bit apathetic for a second, maybe a bit bored, So they can be this phase that for a little bit you're focused on yourself. The North Node in your first house is like, I'm more interested in what's happening in my world. I want to become independent. I want to achieve my goals, my dreams. It can correspond for a woman, they become single for a time. So they work on this first house, my goals, my dreams, myself, my appearance, my body. They can become very passionate about looking better now. If you're Aries rising, Aries sun, you can be very focused on the physical body, on the appearance over the next month, year and a half, so you can transform your how you look. For example, I just have friends that they had this Tauruses, 3 friends Tauruses, sun or ascendant. And over the past year and a half, they really transformed their body because the North Node was transiting their first house, the sun, from the sun or the ascendant. Because you become passionate about the body, the physical. And sometimes it corresponds to a time when you're single or more focused on yourself, or even if you're in a relationship, somehow again, as I said, you're focused on your own goals, on some own, if it's your sun, for example, in Aries, it can indicate that over the next year and a half, when the North Node transits your sun, at some point, there can be some big activation of your career, some very ambitious plan that comes, that you fulfill, that you create, that you go after. Sometimes we even bite a bite too bigger for us to chew when the North Node is there. It's because we become so desirous of success that we're willing to fake it till we make it, or to take more than necessary. But again, during those periods, this can be when we're promoted a few steps ahead than what is the next logical following step, when we expand or grow much faster than we're capable of. For example, again, giving an example with a friend who just had the North Node transit through her sun sign. She got promoted from a lawyer, normal lawyer, to a mayor of a whole town. And it's like, she said, I thought that there would be at least a few other positions getting there, but suddenly, boom, boom, this is very much Rahu, this trampoline effect, this North Node. So Aries, get prepared for such things that can shake you up. They're exciting, but they're also very uncomfortable. The North Node puts you very out of your comfort zone. But it's you're willing to try new things. You're much more risk taking. You're much more adventurous. You become much more. Aries is already a risk prone sign, and imagine now with the North Node going there. Whoa, you're gonna take some big jumps. You're gonna take some big jumps blindly into faith, and the North Node can reward you with big results as well. Sometimes the North Node can turn your life around and be very shaky period, because again, sometimes even unexpected things like deaths, not your own, but like deaths and births and such kind of life pivotal moment happens, so you have to adapt quickly to them. But be prepared for a ride, Aries, which is starting from July for some of you, especially the later born Aries. But at the moment that the North Node enters Aries, and of course, that's a lot of focus on you for a year and a half, on your image, on your physical appearance. If it's your ascendant, if it's your sun, can be your career, again, health, strength, energy. The North Node can increase your energy, your zest for life, passion, sexual desires as well. While you might have to make some sacrifices in relationships with the South Node day in the 7th house, or you might have to let go of something, commitment or agreement or contract, while you focus more on your things. Or to say it another way, don't listen to what others want from you. With the North Node in your sign, you do what you want. Sometimes even a bit feels egoistical when the North Node is in your sign. But it's almost like you need a little bit of a period for that. you know. I'm an Aries, but I'm very like, 'cause I have a lot of planets in the seventh house, or the moon at least. So it's, for me, it's very important, my partners and what they think. But now with the North Node in our sign, we're a little bit the focus more on us. It doesn't mean be really rude to others, so don't consider their feelings at all. But if you want to have fast success, don't listen what others think is best for you, but what your intuition is, because the North Node here can give very fast forward jump high up. But at the same time this is happening, Pluto will square the nodes. This is big, guys. This happens very rarely. Again, I don't know, 2000 and more like 9 years ago this happened. Pluto squaring the nodes, Pluto, both nodes and Pluto, the two most karmic points. The nodes are, okay, they're one axis, they're karmic axis, and Pluto is the most karmic planet of the evolution of the soul. This is huge, and it's affecting you directly in the first house, seventh house, 10th house. So this month, the whole month is like that, and even into August, something big can happen in regards karmically. It's a karmic thing, especially in regards to your career, father figure, authority figures, institutions, and in regards to your relationships and your path as well, and your personal health, because your first house is yourself. And in esoteric astrology, when Pluto squares the nodes, not only is it super karmic times, but it's known, whatever planet squares the nodes, as a skip step. Something I learned recently and I started applying it. So what could it be? Skip step connected to your career, something, go back to something that is, it might be something that is meant for you in career wise. It might be something that is connected to, skip step that is more connected to Pluto instead. Something very pivotal and important that you haven't completed in regards to your career, or that you haven't in regards to your goal, kind of worldly actions, in regards to a relationship with a father figure or authority figure that you might have to deal with. And there might be crisis involved. Both the nodes and Pluto are crisis prone. And again, crisis can be connected. Crisis that transforms you. Crisis, even if it's a crisis that surprises you, it turns your life around and transforms you about your health, physical appearance, your own goals, about your relationships, or about your career and social standing. Big changes can happen there, especially for later born Aries. Those that, 20s, born on the 17th, 18th, 19th of April, or 27, 20, 26, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29 degrees of Aries. But all Aries to watch out for this. And they can be a skip step connected to Pluto. What can Pluto skip step feel like? Karmically. Looking something under the surface. Incorporating big transformation, big like shedding of the skin that is required from you, especially in regards to your public image, in regards to your actions, the 10th house rules actions, in regards to your health, in regards to your relationship, some shedding, some deep transformation, in regards to your commitments to others, or decisions that you made for yourself in your own life. So all of those, they can be a huge transformation crisis that leads to transformation there, and digging deeper and changing something. And when Pluto makes a change, it's for life. It's not something superficial. So especially the later born Aries, watch out. Now, one thing is really helping though. It's Venus that almost the whole month stays very close to the degrees where the nodes go. So what will help this karmic path, this new karmic path that you're starting? What will help this karmic dilemma, let's say, because Pluto is squaring the nodes in your first house the whole month? What helps this dilemma is Venus, which is sending a trine from your fifth house. So kind of self-love, that's one meaning of Venus in the fifth house. Kind of find time for romance. Maybe a romantic partner can be helping in those transformative and big, changes. I don't know, even if it's in your personal relationship, some crisis, there might be someone else like a romantic partner who might be helping. Or it can be your children that a source of happiness, that a source of uh, healing of some sort, that Venus is making this trine that can stabilize or that can help you solve the dilemma, or that you do those big transformative changes in your life. What helps you do them is this Venus. So either because of your children, because of your love life, because of love of yourself, because of better quality of life if you want, and good nutrition. Venus rules nutrition. Venus rules anything that is natural, healthy, that can be helping you with that. And having fun, entertainment, it's in the fifth house, can be a source of what makes you happier. Plus, Venus turns retrograde on the 23rd of July, will be retrograde till the rest of the month and the whole August and into September. You can reconnect with past loves during that time. Again, there is this theme here. You can have fun times with people you haven't seen for a while, that are close to your heart. There is big heart connection. When Venus goes retrograde, you can reevaluate a romantic relationship. Is it maybe there is something more you can do to feel more loved and connected? Maybe something can change. A child can bond you more, for example, but something will change in a romantic relationship. Or if there is any problems in a romantic relationships that you've been bearing, they'll become more obvious now. And that can make the relationship much better if they're addressed in a loving way, or if they're addressed in a way that is both sides accept those changes that they have to happen. So by the end of this period, you might have much deeper love connection with someone, or if there was no response on the other side, or if you rethought, you can fully realize, oh, this person is not for me. Venus retrograde in the fifth house of romantic relationship, it can fully either deepen the love and take it to the next level, recommit it deeper by re-experiencing things you used to love before, by doing fun things you haven't done for a while, or you can really question it, is this the right relationship or commitment, and dissolve it even. But the Venus retrograde in the fifth house can be a great time to do fun things and loving and things that you enjoy that you haven't done for a while. Get in touch with their inner child. Reconnect to the joy of life that you haven't experienced. Refine that joy of life that you maybe haven't experienced for a while. Somehow you might have been disconnected from it. But the North Node will give you this zest for life, this lust for life and excitement. And Venus retrograde in the fifth house will ask you to dig deep to heal those childhood wounds that are blocking you from feeling joy and flowing and being creative and being in love with life. Fifth house is, on the highest level, is feeling in awe and in love with life. It's lower manifestations, being in love with someone else, but again, it makes us feel very in love. Being creative as well is another manifestation. So Venus will make you dig deep when it goes retrograde to rediscover your creative potential, to reconnect with this joy. There might be some important decisions that you take in regards to children, and Venus will make you more fertile while it's in this fifth house for the next 3-4 months. Just keep that in mind. Venus is very strong when it's retrograde, because it's much closer to Earth. Venus also can make you finish some creative project, pick up some sports or loved activities from before. Good old times can come back, as fifth house is about enjoying yourself and so on. So there you go, guys. Hope this month is getting fiery. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.